So we pretty much knew that coronavirus would make its way to Grey's Anatomy season 17, given the fact that it's a global pandemic, and Grey's Anatomy, for many, many years, has covered real world events in very eloquent ways. And coronavirus just makes sense for a long running medical drama. And I have a feeling that other long running medical dramas, such as Chicago MD, will be covering, or Chicago Med, I believe it's called, will be covering coronavirus as well. But anyway, we are here to discuss coronavirus on Grey's Anatomy. Now, there have been several memes on Instagram and Twitter talking about coronavirus with Grey's Anatomy. One that I always found funny was how Meredith and Christina would have found a cure by now. I have no idea where the actual cure is or vaccine is in the process right now. I just hope one will be available because the world is just crazy, 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 and I would love to get back to normal times myself. Anyway, so the producers of Grey's Anatomy, or the head writer, Krista Vernoff, met with several doctors, and I believe she had other writers with her as well. And there is a link to the article from Entertainment Weekly that is discussing this in more depth. But they met with other doctors who have handled the coronavirus up close and personal. And one thing that the article mentioned that I thought was really interesting is how the pandemic is essentially being treated as a war. And Owen is going to have a big role this season. And I know for a lot of people that don't care for Owen Hunt, I am a big fan of Owen. And last season, I shipped Towen. I shipped Towen since season 6. And the fact that they've essentially just ruined Towen annoyed me so much. But anyway, I'm a big fan of Owen. I think Kevin McKidd, is a fantastic actor. And it looks like he's going to have a really big role. Given the fact that he's a veteran, this could be a great chance to bring back Martin Henderson, who is also a veteran. And most likely Kim Raver, a veteran, or, Teddy Altman, who is a veteran. Kim Raver is an actress. But Teddy should be having a big role. And as I said, if they can bring back Martin Henderson, who was Nathan Riggs, to also have a role playing this, because I guess they want to treat this as a war against the virus. And Owen, honestly, is a perfect contender for that role. Now, what Christopher also wants to do is she wants to tell the stories of some of these doctors. Now, Grey's Anatomy for a long time has had writers or medical writers help with, explaining the medical jargon and, doing the medical diagnoses and the like in the script. So they've always had a medical writer. But it looks like with this season, she wants to actually have the doctors' real life stories be reflected in the doctors of Grey's Anatomy, which I think is really interesting because now it's not just going it's not just being professional with what these doctors have handled, because almost every Grey's Anatomy case is based on something that has happened in real life, which is insane. Like in season, I believe it was 15 or 14, it was that interesting case. It was definitely 15, where Richard was talking to the woodshop teacher who was seeming drunk, but he wasn't, because he had this really weird disease that essentially converted excess sugar into alcohol. And that was a real thing, a very, very rare medical condition, but a rare one nonetheless. And so Grey's Anatomy has found ways to include the rarest and craziest medical stories into TV and make them known to the globe. But now we're going to get stories of these doctors. I do wonder if they might get a credit at the end of the episode, because you don't have to credit the doctor with the disease, but for their life story, they should be getting some credit, because it's just two different types of storytelling. Anyway, also, by the way, another great thing that Grey's Anatomy, another great thing, as I said, with Grey's Anatomy is how they've been able to incorporate what's going on in the world. Please check out season 14, episode 10 again. Personal Jesus. It is a fantastic episode and really shows that they can take a real world issue and make it very tangible to the viewing audience. So, COVID is coming and Owen will be a main character. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with season 17. However, we still do have a big problem. They have not begun filming yet. And before I even talk about the filming really quick, what I want to also discuss is season 16 was 25 episodes. So they had episode 22, 23, 24, and 25 left. And it ended on 21. So those episodes were already filmed. Or not filmed, at least written. I don't believe they were filmed yet. I think they were going to film, because the season was supposed to wrap filming at the end of April, and I believe the finale was April 9th. Anyway, they have those 4 episodes that were supposed to follow, and then they were going to have a cliffhanger. So I wonder if they're just going to scrap those 4 episodes and just start fresh with COVID-19. Now, filming has not yet begun, as I said, and who knows when it will begin. I'm not really sure what studio or what studio television program is filming at all. It's very, very difficult to do this right now, just given how fearful people are with the virus. Now, I guess what they could do if you really, really wanted to start filming, at least with some of you, is get like the bare bones crew, have them quarantine 14 days, and have the actors also quarantine for 14 days, get tested, or maybe reverse it, get tested, quarantine, tested, however they need to do it. But anyway, maybe they could do it that way. That way they could just have like the smallest amount of people at once. But who knows? And I would not say start filming until anyone feels comfortable. I mean, a lot of the actors on Grey's Anatomy have small children, and everyone has a family. No one wants to be that one person to bring this virus home. So who knows when it'll be filmed? Like Supergirl, for example, they've already said, just given like Melissa Benoist's pregnancy, they are not filming until next year. So we might not be getting Grey's Anatomy until 2021, which is a bummer, which means, there's no fall premiere, but who knows it's going to be happening. Anyway, I am excited for season 17 nonetheless. I hope little news stories like this will drop so we can have, something Grey's to discuss, because the only other news I have to cover is Sailor Moon Crystal, or Sailor Moon Eternal. Anyway, what do you think about COVID being a plot on Grey's Anatomy season 17? It makes sense to me that it's going to happen. It probably will hit home for a lot of people. So I do wonder what you guys have to say. Share your thoughts, comments below, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.